live. Okay, cool. Oh, actually, I guess I should tell people that we're here. All right, let's see, because they'll be coming soon. Yeah.
Send the signal.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta send out the bat signal real quick. All right, cool, 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 cool. All right, so I see we got some in here. I'm gonna just share this real quick here with Jonathan Santana. Okay, they're slowly coming in. They're getting here. They're getting here. Let me just share this, you guys, real quick. So give me a second. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, everybody. So everybody will get. Hey, peace, Anwar. Yeah, I'm live. Okay, cool. I guess you can hear us. Okay, Anwar, let me know. Anwar always does like the sound. Peace, Richard. Long time no greetings and salutations from. Remove my incense. Okay, cool. You can hear Anwar. Okay, cool, cool. Peace to you, sound and silence. Um, all right, so I'm here with student Jonathan Santana. All right, and peace, Shakira, and everyone's piling in. So you see him there in the background.
Peace, everyone.
All right, cool. And so we were just here doing a session, and I've been working with Jonathan for a while. How long has it been?
4 years.
4 years?
Four
Did you
years.
say 4 years? 4 weeks?
4 years.
Wow. Okay. You know I'm not good with time. I was gonna say like six 6 months.
Nah. Been
Wow.
around for a little bit.
Okay. I'm horrible with time. So yeah. So as Jonathan pointed out, 4 years, and he's going through certain transitions in terms of the focus on his own personal purpose and where he wants to be in life and things he wants to do, and over this time pouring information into him and ideas and things like that, he's been able to kind of exhume or bring out his own genius, which is a lot there. And we've gotten to a point now where he has a couple of things happening from a website, ebook, and also an online class. So I'm gonna let Mr. Jonathan Santana. I told him what I wanted to do was, let people know what he's doing and kind of, add some value to my own space, my own platform with that. Let me make sure you got everybody, because it's very bright out here, so I can't really totally see the screen,
Yeah.
but I think you got everyone. Uh,
Looks good.
it looks cool. Okay. Um, so I told him I wanted to allow him some space to share what it is that he's doing. Thanks, Richard. And T Razzle, peace to you. Does that say T Razzle? I think it says T Razzle. If it does, peace to you. Um, but give him an opportunity to kind of share, some of his experience. So I'm going to do a little interview style for a
Oh,
second,
okay.
right? You got this.
I
You
don't
got
know what to do with my hands.
point. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like a wrestler. um, so first thing, uh, let's talk about your program, right?
All right. So I've been working really hard on a program. It's called the Head Start program. Head stands for mnemonic of habits, ego, awareness, and decisions.
What's a mnemonic?
Mnemonic, it's a word that you break down, you create more words or more purpose out of just that one word. So and it plays multi-purpose for me from my creation standpoint. Obviously, our head is very important, our ori, and so I felt like it was a good um, offering to my head, to my ori, to to follow that theme and to work with creating a head start program. So the program is based around managing stress, and as Chief and I were building on, stress is useful up to a certain point, but after we get past that certain point, it starts to have a negative effect on our life. So how do we keep it in that fruitful platform of being an asset or a tool that we can use as opposed to like a liability, something that's putting us in the wrong direction of what we want. So I kind of was thrown to the wolves. I had baptism by fire when I started my career as a firefighter paramedic. It was something that I'm sure many of you can probably relate, where you felt prepared, you were ready to take that next step. And my first shift at the fire department, it's stressful. You know, you get thrown into other people's stressful situations, and you are looked at as the person to mitigate the stress, to help them through their stress. And I really didn't have any tools to do that. And so I learned pretty much through trial and error and a lot of experimenting. And that's where I came up with these four major, pivotal points for us to really focus, because things can get overwhelming. We can get distracted by a lot of things that we feel is important, when at the source, at the base of it, these four elements I have found are, when we are able to put our focus in it, helps us to manage that stress and stay in that positive light of managing it.
What are the four elements?
So habits, ego, awareness, and decisions. Habits, obviously, it's fitting that it starts with habits. We exercise habits every single day, and a lot of times it's unconscious to us. We don't even realize that they are habits. But once we take that step back and we allow ourselves to kind of evaluate our moves and the reason for those moves, we can start to expose a lot of our habits. And so you can also basically identify habits that are hindering and creating more stress, and replace them with habits that are going to benefit. So a lot of times that when I was working through this program myself, I would see that maybe I would go from a 24-hour shift being extremely stressed out, and I wouldn't take the time to de-stress, to maybe take a nap, to reflect, to meditate, do things that really are not this earth-shattering event or process. But without identifying it, we get in that space of, why can't I figure this out? Why am I stressed out all the time? Why can't I, just be happier, or live, more fulfilled, more peaceful? And so habits was important, for me to, start out first looking at. And then ego is important. Obviously, we call on Ogun a lot to destroy that ego. And then a lot of times through that destruction of our ego, it's work with humility, and we're able to see more of ourselves through the things that a lot of times we try to negate or try to hide from our own sight and from other people's sight. So working through ego and just seeing ourselves as we truly are, again, removes a lot of those things that are unnecessary in our lives, the stress in our lives, or unnecessary stress, and replaces it with the things that are more meaningful. When it comes to awareness, it's more of awareness of our thoughts and our attitude. A lot of times our intentions are good. We think that, hey, I'm trying to do the right thing, but when we track it all the way back to our thoughts, even though we have a positive outlook or we want to do positive stuff, we are having these negative thoughts, right? So increasing our awareness on our thoughts and catching it at that source and rewriting, right? Like Chief always explains, we're the author of our lives, whether we realize it or not. The sooner we can realize it, the better off we're going to be. So increasing that awareness just, allows us to write the narrative for ourselves, as opposed to having other people write it for us, or even the obligations that we feel we should have, right? And just creating that narrative for ourselves. And then when it comes down to decisions, a lot of what, again, we were building on today is just taking action. You have to make the decision. You have to commit to wanting to live with a stress-managed life and to work with, this Head Start program. And it's something that can be applied in multiple areas of your life, whether it's your career, your relationships, your finances, yourself. Obviously, that's an important place to start. That's what I recommend. That's what I did. So, yeah, that's the Head Start program.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we got a lot of flies here, so that's why we're waving away. It's a little cooler under this pavilion. And they're giving you good feedback, Jonathan.
Okay.
Somebody said
I can't really.
Yeah, you can't see it. So they're saying you're on it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
They're saying you're on it. Anyone else think he's making some sense here? Is this stuff making sense to you all? Definitely, leave your feedback. He can take it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as doing this kind of work and speaking and whatnot, this was something that I introduced to Jonathan. And I told him, peace, Tara. And when did I first introduce and say this is something you should be doing?
About 2 years.
2 years ago? Okay. So 2 years ago, I told him, you have a gift. You can speak. You know, you got another one. Yes, on the same wavelength. So they're with you on this. I said you can speak, and one of the things that I expressed to him, I said, man, me being a public speaker myself, I said half the people who I know who I have shared stages with or have opened up for me, I've opened up for them, they're not half as insightful as you are. At the time, he was, well, not doing any of this, right? In terms of really exploring it and making it more formalized, right? And I want you to share what your reaction was to me saying that. Yeah, I told you I was going to. What was your reaction to me saying that to you, Mr. Santana?
Very very shocking, but as Chief does, he exposes the truth, and it was something that I had to sit with for I'll just say some time, and allow myself the space to see the truth. I had built an identity around being in public safety, and that was my end all be all, and obviously seeing that my creativity was being shunted, I didn't see that there were actually possibilities of creating these programs. I love to talk and to speak with people. I would do it on my free time, my spare time. Definitely nothing that people would ask me to do, but I just felt it came naturally. So over time, I obviously allowed for that truth to come in, and I've been growing at it over the last couple of years. But definitely at first, it's a difficult. It's like medicine, and as we all know with Chief, sometimes medicine doesn't taste the best, but it's what we need to feel better and to be better. And so, working through that stuff, being on this side, it's still not where I want to be. Obviously, it's going to be a life path for myself. I just feel more like Jonathan Santana than any other capacity. And it's great because it pours over to my family, it pours over to my friends. Maybe not in, maybe you guys can relate, maybe not in like public settings, but after you just one on one, people come over. Hey, that's actually pretty good information you put out, and it is what it is. People learn in their own space and capacity, and so for where I stand and on my path, I take whatever I can get and work with, you know, all of the information that I can share and opportunities that I get.
Now, there's an important thing that we talk about a lot, Jonathan and and I think we all talk about it, but just in different ways. Jonathan has a great job at the fire company. He works in the medical field, but he works, you know, um, at the firehouse. Yeah, I missed the chunk because I'm at work. So we got another one, so they want to learn more,
All right.
right? And these are my people, right? So you think about that. These are not somebody just running around on the street and you're giving away free lemonade if they listen to you. These are people who are used to kind of hearing some teaching, right? So
To put it
I'm just
politically
saying,
correct, yeah.
yeah, listen to hearing something, um, and you got the room captivated, right? So there's an important piece here because, like I said, he's got a great job, lives in a cool area, everything like that. Um, and the further and the deeper he goes into this work, which you can obviously see, you can tell already that he can do it. He's doing it, right? You all know he's gonna lose his job. He's gonna lose that job. um, because the way the universe works is it starts to lean towards where it is you've put your work, your effort, and your thoughts. And now we have 15 people on the live. 15 people know that you should be doing this work primarily because of the value that you bring. So now you have 15 people who are going to create a reality that doesn't give a crap about your job, your great job
Yeah.
in the medical field, the firehouse. Okay? So that's a part of the growth too. And sometimes that's the scary part of all of this. You know, Anwar just said the breakdown of the four elements just clarified so much for me. Oh, pause for a second. No call right now. All right, hold on. Let me try to decline this call. The more you climb into where it is that you're supposed to be and climb into the seat of your own character, or what we could even say your throne, uh, things that don't serve that purpose begin to dissolve around you. And sometimes that's the scary part of all of this. I liked your comment, Shakira. I don't know why you deleted it. We are here to serve. Yeah, don't delete it. It was good. um, but yeah, the more you start, peace, infinite law, the more you start to dig into who you're supposed to be, things will fall together, but things will fall apart. Things will definitely fall apart. Something happened. See, I'm telling a little bit of your business in this. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but something happened recently with Jonathan where he got into a minor car accident in the midst of doing something that was not related to his gift, right? So he was doing something that would have brought him deeper into his current life position, like something on his job that basically would have gave him a higher position, a stronger position, and he was diving deep into it and doing something related to that, got into a minor car accident, right? And he reached out to me, of course. And my first question I asked him, I said, "Well, this thing you're doing, is it more responsibility? Does it take you deeper into peace, Lady Amoff? Does it take you deeper into what it is that you're currently doing?" He said, "Yes." So one of the things we spoke about today was I shared with him that, you're getting ready to cross that bridge of no return. You've gotten really good at what it is that you're doing in terms of the Head Start program. He's also written an ebook. He also has a website, JRS Inspires.
.com,
Yep, JRSinspires.com. I think your social media handles the same thing.
yeah. Social media at JRS Inspires.
JRS Inspires, and he also has two YouTube channels.
Driven with Purpose and JRS Inspires.
Two YouTube channels, JRS Inspires and Driven with Purpose. So you know what I'm saying, go subscribe to those channels. Go subscribe to the multimedia, to the social media. The ebook is free.
Free ebook, Guide to Working with Mentors. Obviously, a lot of that work came from working with Chief. A lot of times we want help and we don't know how to let that help in or how to work with mentors. It's a very quick and easy read, and really just gets to the point on how you can capitalize and maximize the opportunities that you have when working with a mentor. Obviously, Chief makes himself as accessible as possible, but in other avenues of our life, maybe we only have an elevator pitch or a moment, and we have to try to pull as much as we can from that moment, that opportunity. So from my personal experiences, I wrote the ebook, and just sharing as much as I can, to capitalize on those moments, because we don't know when they can come or how often or how impactful they can be. How many times have you guys experienced where a single conversation or a single moment completely pivoted your life? And if we didn't have that opportunity or we didn't maximize or capitalize on it, how different would our life be? So definitely I felt it was important to share that type of information. Been getting a lot of really good feedback on it. People sharing that they didn't really realize these different avenues, different vantage points, and how to make the most out of those opportunities.
Yeah. So you have several things you can tap into, but one of the things, especially with the job, not that I'm against. Well, I kind of am against jobs. So let me be honest. Let me not play that game. But the more he's investing and he's showing and proving to the universe that, yeah, I recognize that you've given me this gift of insight and the ability to articulate, because he comes with a lot of Eshu energy. So that's that mercurial aspect of that Eshu, where I can go between different worlds, and it's the fluidity of a person. I can understand this. I can understand so many different concepts that I can just flow wherever I want to be, and shapeshift when need be. So what will begin to happen is the things that have been invested into now, which really hold him back from where he is going, will begin to dissolve and disintegrate and break down. And him getting into that minor car accident was a great example. So when it happened, I spoke about today, I said, now it's on. You got to go full steam now, because nothing else is going to work for you. So that was a warning from your ancestors and from the spirits around you. Don't keep trying to do what you have asked us to well, don't keep trying to do things that take away from what you have asked us to help you to do, because that ancestral potential that's inside of you, that was always there, you've now cultivated, you've dived into it, you've explored it, and you're building yourself into a juggernaut in that area. And that's where we're going to put our energy. Anything else we're not really going to stand with you on, right? And that's what happens. Now we can say the universe does that or whatever, however you want to put it. But those guards and those spirits and those energies around you will make sure that you're moving into purpose and won't support anything else. Anwar also said the negative and positive feedbacks. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to put. Okay, the negative and positive aspects of stress is something I've experienced. The positive where it pushes me forward, and the negative where it freezes my movements. He says something else, but I don't always know how to put. Oh, there we go. Also, this is an awesome example of standing in your purpose, right? So, why don't you speak to that?
Well, building on the whole car accident incident, that was just one of a series of events that came up, and at times, whatever you're working on, whatever direction you're moving in, you may have those moments that you're feeling stressed and that you're feeling like things aren't coming together. You're not understanding the positive effects of your work and your time, your actions, and having this prime example, literally right after I took action on a step in the wrong direction, we'll call it, or in a different direction, I got into a car accident, and then, like I said, a series of events, and it just like Chief was building on it, confirms all the work that you're doing. So even though it may not always seem like things aren't coming together as you envision, it's coming together. And standing in your power is standing in what you truly see for yourself. And sometimes we have to take time to reflect, to meditate, to maybe just take actions, maybe make a investment of time, currency, whatever it might be, and you can see that evidence that and the dividends that comes from it. So being able to have that experience of, all right, well, I move forward with all good intentions. Again, the thoughts that we have of, oh, it's not that big of a deal, I'm trying to do the right thing. Obviously, like Chief said, whatever you want to call it, the ancestors, the universe, they know what you're truly asking for and what's truly in alignment with you or for you. And so once you're in that space of working with your purpose, don't be surprised, when you start to have these things happen to you. I wasn't surprised. I even, in the email, I said, I think it's because of this, which is where the topic, where we were able to build on it. But those things happen, and those setbacks, I could have been stressed out. I could have been, I really need this to happen. I really need this to come together. But it comes down to a point of faith and knowing in the path that you truly want for your life. So it can make you feel very vulnerable at times, but as you walk more with it and you invest more time, it's going to feel more natural, and it's exponential. The growth really is just internal. Maybe not the external. You may not see the dividends immediately pay back, but internally, which is really probably what I consider the most important thing, is that internal peace. There's no amount of money, no amount of fame or whatever that can replace that internal peace. So.
Absolutely. All right. So Jonathan has his YouTube channels. Please check him out. He's already got videos up on JRS Inspires, and he's got videos up on Driven with Purpose. Good videos. Check them out. The class, the head program, and Sound and Silence. I'm sorry, I'm almost getting ready to use something. I know you guys' real names, so let me use your screen names. Sound and How do I get the chat back up? I don't know. You know how to do it?
Nope, that was fine. I tried.
All right. Well, Sound and Silence said something. I'm paraphrasing. I was just taking notes that on the breakdown he was giving with the head program, and then somebody comes to my desk asking me questions. She's at work, and then she was saying, "See how work gets in the way of the mission, right?" So, that's funny to me, but obviously, there's a truism to that as well. We have a lot of talented people in Anu. Anwar also has a property management company, not to mention the fact that he's also a musician as well. But he's got a property management company. I don't know if you still got that GoFundMe up or not, Anwar. Um, uh, if you do, put it in the chat or whatever. But we have people doing things. Sound and Silence. She does artwork as well. Jonathan Santana here. He's a speaker, and the next iteration of Chief Speaks, I think he'll be taking it over. So he'll be doing all of this stuff soon. And you know, he's got, like I said, a class is on Udemy.
Yeah, Udemy. It'll be available early August
Right.
on udemy.com. Again, the Head Start program.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got the Head Start program coming in August on Udemy. He's got the ebook that you can get right now at JRS Inspires. And you know, just follow him. He's got good videos. Some of you guys already know him. I think some of you guys from the men's call already know Jonathan, but you may not have known that he was working on all of this stuff in the background. All right. Thank you for the inspiration. I'll definitely connect. Yeah, Soul Raw Property Services. That's Anwar's Property Services. So yeah, support each other. All right. Now I have to get over to, because she might be actually watching this. I didn't forget about you. I have to now get across town to another student and work with her. All right. So if you're watching, I didn't forget about you. We're not just here doing videos. I'm on my way to you. I'm on my way to you right now. All right. So that was it. I wanted to share that. Make sure you follow. And when you do the class release, we'll maybe do another one if I'm around here, you know, or at least I'll announce that, you know, it's out. Peace, Richard. Yeah. You know, he said, thank you for your time and knowledge, brothers. You're more than welcome. Yeah. All right, everyone. Enjoy your day. Peace. Peace. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You want-